Welcome back to Minecraft Coding Camp tutorial videos, and this will probably be your last video because we reached the end of Project 4, which is the end of the whole game. And continuing from where we left off, we're just going to do this last challenge here, which puts together all the concepts we learned so far. So we've been learning all these functions and all these complex ways of harvesting, planting, and fertilizing. Now we put it all together and make our own little field here and get something out of it. So there's not really many instructions. This is a kind of an open-ended problem, and you basically have to do it by yourself. So that's what makes it challenging, because of the fact that it's not something that is being told, like there's no instructions for you to do beforehand. But instead, you have to start figuring things out on your own. And this connects to more real-world programming, where the answer isn't right there. You have to figure out first what the question is, what the problem is, and then you can come up with the answer. So in this case, we have to figure out what the problem is before we come up with the answer. So what we see here is a field full of grass and some flowers, and what we need to do is basically plant a bunch of seeds, then we need to fertilize them and grow them so they grow, and then harvest. So although this is an open-ended problem, it's really just using all the concepts we learned beforehand in one program, or you can split it however way you want. So it's going to be a really similar program to what we've done before, so it shouldn't be too complicated. In case you didn't understand our last programs, you might want to look at our previous videos to get a refresher of how we did all those programs and what they did. So let's get straight into this. So the first thing we want to do is plant our crops and make them grow. So I'll call this first program farm. And the very first thing, if you remember, is we need to get like the size of our farm, so we know exactly how much we're going to be like working on. What's the size of the field? So it might be kind of hard to do, but if you use your mouse carefully, you'll observe that this field has 4 rows and 3 columns. It's a 4x3 field. So the first thing we have to do here is set our rows and columns appropriately. So rows equals 4, columns equals 3. Remember, we always start with the current row because we're going to be using incrementing logic in this, which helps us navigate through this in a sequential order. So current row equals 1, current column equals 1. And before we start our program, we always do turtle.select 1, which selects the whole, and turtle.new field. Now, what we need is we need all of our seeds, and we need all of our fertilizer and everything we're going to use to grow our plants. So let's check our chests. So there's nothing in this chest, which means our ingredients are in the smaller chest. And we can see there's 64 seeds and three more spots of 64 bone meal each. So we have a bunch of fertilizer and some seeds. So we need to somehow get this fertilizer and all these seeds into our turtles so we can put them to work. So what we need to do is we already have something in our first inventory slot. So because we have the coal right over here, and now so we need to do turtle.select 2, which selects the second spot, and then we'll do turtle.suckDown 64. What this does is suck all the spots in the second inventory slot, which corresponds to the first door here. We suck all 64 of these into the turtle. That's why we use 64 in parentheses, because you want to take all of it. And then we select the next one, turtle.select 3, turtle.suck down 64. Then you want to select the next one, which is our second bone meal. So suck down 64. Then you want to turtle.select 5. Now we've taken everything from our chest of available items. The next thing we want to do is we need to get into planting the seeds. So we already know about the logic from beforehand using the while loops, but I want to add a little twist to this, because if you notice in the previous programs, when we add fertilizer and when we add seeds, we start getting a little repetitive in our actions, and we keep doing things over and over and over again. So I want to simplify this by adding a function. So instead of so if you remember a fertilizer function, especially, it's pretty tedious because we have 3 different fertilizers we're going to suck down and place in inventory. So we'll have 3 spots of fertilizer, and we have to use a logic to check how many are in there to determine whether we can actually plant it. So to simplify that, I want to make a local function which can do this for us. So instead of having to type the code over and over, we can just call that function every time we need to use it and use it accordingly. So I'm going to call a function called local function fertilizer. So remember the logic with this, how to check it. So we have to check if the count is always greater than 0. And then we keep moving to the next one, if this one is empty, and eventually we'll just default to the last inventory slot, because that can't be empty. So we look in the third inventory slot here, is greater than 0. Then dot select 3. So if the inventory slot is greater than 0, we select that inventory slot. Else if that one is in fact 0, then we check the item count of the next one and check if that's greater than 0. And select it accordingly. And then if nothing else works, we do turtle.select 5, which is the last one available. Then we'll end our loop right there. Well, not the loop, we're actually ending the whole function. And then so we see the turtle has to oh my bad. This end here is for the if block, and then we have to have one more end before we have the end, we need to turtle dot place down, because the ultimate goal of all this fertilizer is to actually place it down. So which is part of the repetitives of the fertilizer functions. So we're going to place it down 3 times because fertilizer used 3 times makes the plant go to its full potential. Turtle place down, and then we end our loop. So now we're going to start the actual logic of the program. First thing we could do is go forward. So turtle.forward. Then we have to dig down. So turtle.select 2 will select our seeds, because the seeds will be deposited in the second inventory slot. And then we can do turtle dot place down. And then instead of repeatedly calling fertilizer, we can just use the function fertilize. And I believe we call this fertilizer. Yeah, we call it fertilizer, my bad. So we'll just call the function fertilize and fertilizer, which calls our fertilizer logic that we just wrote above. And then we have our main while loop because that just made us go past this first little row of water here and over the grass. So now we have a while loop. While current column is less than or equal to columns do. And then this is the outer loop, remember? And now we have the inner loop. While current row is less than rows. Turtle dot forward. Turtle dot dig down. And one thing to add is I'm doing turtle dot dig down twice. And the reason being, see all these plants here, the first dig down actually gets rid of those plants. And that gets, because sometimes if there's a plant in the way and you only do one dig down function, it doesn't give us any room to actually break the grass underneath. So we don't actually till anything. And in fact, I'm going to change this one right here to have an extra dig down. Because of that, because you don't want the grass to get in the way and mess up our whole program. So which is why I'm doing two turtle dot dig down functions. And then I do turtle dot select to turtle dot place down. Then we also add our fertilizer. And then current row. Increment the current row because we got past the first part. Current row. And then that ends the inner while loop. Now we have to deal with our outer while loop. And before we end it, we need to do our logic for the turtle to turn around. So remember, if it's odd row, we're going to be turning right. If it's an even row, we're going to be turning left. So remember using the modulus operator. If current column percent symbol 2 equals 1, then turtle turns right, turtle moves forward. So try to visualize what's happening here, which really helps you understand the program. Remember, dig down twice. Select your seeds. Then you place the seeds down. Now add your fertilizer and turn right. Now check our logic for turtles that are on the even column, which means it's the same thing except the turtle has to turn left. But we don't need to add any kind of logic to plant stuff because that's been taken care of in the forward function. Because after we turn around, we'll be continuing to go forward. So turtle dot turn left, turtle dot forward, and then turtle dot turn left. and you end that right there.